Is real estate the best investment? Like guys like Grant Cardone like to say, is it indeed better than any other investment? Stocks, bonds, precious metals, cryptocurrency. Is real estate the best investment? Is that true? A lot of confusion about this, and I will clear this up right now. I am Caleb Jones, and this is Sovereign CEO. I help people just like you how to set up location-independent businesses, move to a less bad country, or at least set up an international backup plan and do all those things for very little money. Real estate is something I know a lot about. Throughout the 1990s and a little bit of the 2000s, I actually made more money investing in real estate part-time than I did my actual full-time job, which back then was as a self-employed IT consultant, making over $100,000 a year. I've made money off and on throughout real estate throughout my entire life, and so real estate is something I know pretty well, even though at the moment I don't own any, and I will talk about why in a second. So is real estate the best investment? Does it kick the ass of every other investment like you hear about all the time on the internet? Now, it is true that real estate has a lot of amazing benefits that no other investment has. Just to name a few. Number one, you have massive, and I mean massive, tax benefits when you own rental real estate. There's about 4 or 5 different ways you can reduce your taxes on your real estate. You can get depreciation, you can write off the expenses, you can write off the mortgage interest. I have personally known people who had a full-time job, a normal corporate job, but because they owned several pieces of rental real estate, they paid almost, not literally, but almost zero taxes on their job income because they were able to initiate tax deductions from their rental real estate. You can't do that with cryptocurrency. You can't do that with stocks and bonds. You certainly can't do that with gold. So that's pretty powerful. That's pretty awesome. Plus, even if you make a gain on real estate, you can do something called a 1031 exchange, at least in the United States, where you can roll it over into another real estate investment of like kind and not pay any capital gains tax. Pretty damn good. So that's a huge benefit. Second way in which you make money in real estate is that when you have rental real estate, the renter pays off your mortgage for you. That's awesome. So not only are you making money from value appreciation, but you're also making money twice, kind of double, because it's doing this. Your renter's paying down your mortgage while the house becomes more valuable. Really cool. Number 3, the house or apartment building or what have you can go up in value, and usually it does. It doesn't always, but it usually does. That's another way in which you make money. And of course, the 4th way you make money is if you do this correctly, and most people who invest in real estate do not do this correctly. As a matter of fact, I would say the vast majority of people who invest in rental real estate do not do this, or do not do this correctly, and that is it cash flows. It actually creates cash flow income for you every month that you can actually spend. And again, most people do not buy real estate in that respect. Most people have to feed their real estate, which is stupid, or at a minimum it breaks even, and they just take the tax deductions. So yes, real estate is awesome. Is real estate perfect? No. You hear all kinds of bullshit about real estate, about how they're not making any more land, so it's 100% scarcity. That's bullshit, because there's lots of land all over the earth, like in the desert, and we have a lot of desert here in the United Arab Emirates where I live, that will be completely worthless and never be of value to anyone no matter what. So that's not necessarily true. You'll also hear things like real estate always goes up in value. Oh, that's not true. I know lots and lots of people who have gotten murdered, not only in real estate investments, but even the value of their own homes, where they bought a home at $1 million and there was a real estate collapse and it was suddenly worth $600,000 or $500,000. They couldn't sell the goddamn thing. So that's not correct. But that being said, yes, real estate is awesome, and I do recommend it for certain people. Is it the best investment? The answer is yes, but no. Not yes and no, yes, but no. I will explain. Yes, it is the best investment because it makes money for you in 3, 4, 5, 6 different ways. And I went through this myself. I have made a lot of money in real estate. I was very successful at real estate. Real estate is awesome. Grant Cardone is correct, and guys like Grant Cardone are right when they talk about all the different ways in which you can make money. I just cover those. Real estate is badass. It's amazing. It's very, very good. I'm not saying real estate isn't good. Real estate's very good. But here's the problem. Here's the but no part. But no, because real estate is not an investment. Yeah, it's not an investment. It's not an investment either. Huh? I will explain. I want you to imagine a Venn diagram. If you don't know what that is 2 circles that are next to each other, but they're touching a little bit, okay? And so imagine one circle called business and another circle called investing. And they're touching slightly. There's an overlap. There's this little gray area, right? A little oval area, right? Where they touch. That's real estate. Real estate is a hybrid between an investment and a business. Why is that? Because real estate is not passive income. I know people call it passive, but it's not. When you own rental real estate, I don't care what kind it is. I don't care if it's single family. I don't care if it's multifamily. I don't care if it's commercial. I don't care what kind of real estate it is. When you own rental real estate, it requires a lot of regular work. Is that true if you buy a bond? No. If you buy a bond from your local government, you're going to be paid an interest rate on that no matter what. You don't have to do anything. You just throw the bond in your safe and you sit on your ass and you get money. An annuity is the same thing. Many stocks that have dividends are the same thing. You don't have to do anything to get the money. You just sit on your fat ass and you get the money. It's completely passive. Does that describe real estate? No. You have to deal with renters. You have to deal with problems with renters. You have to deal with finding renters when they move out. You have to deal with upkeep and maintenance and problems. There's all kinds of things you need to do to your real estate on a weekly basis, sometimes even on a daily basis, to maintain that quote unquote investment. It is not passive. Therefore, in a way, it's kind of like a part-time business. And no other investment describes that. Do you need to work hard to make money in Bitcoin? Do you need to work hard to make money in gold? No, these things are passive or mostly passive. Real estate isn't passive at all. Now, I know what you're going to say. Well, Caleb, you can hire a PM. You can hire a property manager, and I think you should. As part of my advice, Sovereign CEO advice, if you own real estate, you need to have location dependence, which means you need to hire a property manager to manage that real estate for you, so you aren't the one going out fixing the toilet at midnight on a Friday when you're on the other side of the world. So yes, you can hire a property manager, and you should. Does that mean it's passive? No. Now you have to manage the property manager. Someone has to do that. That someone is probably going to be you, right? Right. It's still not passive. Now it helps. Instead of maybe taking 20 hours a week, maybe it takes 3 or 4 hours a week. But 3 or 4 hours a week to maintain that investment is not passive. Therefore, to me, it is not an investment. And trust me, you do have to manage property managers. I will give you a horror story from my past. Years ago, I owned some rental real estate. One of the properties I owned was a condominium. And in a condominium, you have associations and association fees, and the condo association votes to do certain things. And one day I got a letter from the association saying, we're going to put on a new roof on our building, and we need $15,000 from you right now. So you have several options. I forget what they were. Something like you could write us a check for 15 grand right now, or we can double your monthly association fee. Back then it was $200. We could double it to $400 or more than $450 for the next several years. Or you can make lump sum pay or whatever. And I basically said, fuck you. I was a young man back then. And I said, I ain't paying this. I didn't vote for this. And fuck you guys. I'm not doing it. And so the next month, I was going to get my rent check from my property manager. I had a property manager managing that property, how to manage all my properties. And the property manager was, as is needed, responsible for receiving the rent check, and they would cut me a check minus all expenses for that month. And that month, they didn't cut me a check. So I called up my property manager and I said, hey, where's my money? And they said, oh, we can't give you your money. I said, excuse me? Was there like a $1,000 repair bill or something? He goes, no, repair bill. No, it's perfectly fine. We got a letter from your condo association saying that you told them to fuck off and you're not paying for the roof, so we can't release the funds to you. I said, motherfucker, that's my money. That relationship has nothing to do with you. You are my customer. Fuck you, give me my money. And I had to fight my own property manager to get my own money. And eventually I did, but it took a lot of time and effort, and that's my point. Just because you have a property manager does not make your real estate 100% passive. It helps a lot. It makes it location dependent, which is critical for a sovereign CEO lifestyle, but it's still not in the category of investment. So when people say real estate is the best investment, it's right, but it's also not right. It's not an investment. It's a hybrid between an investment and a business, which means if you don't have a lot of free time, you probably should invest in real estate. Real estate requires a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of research, certainly if you don't have a property manager, but even if you do. There is a reason right now I don't own any real estate by choice. All the real estate I have right now, I rent. Does that mean I love renting? No. It means that I don't want to take the time and effort to manage these real estate quasi-investments because I focus on other things in my business life. Now, will I purchase real estate? Yes, I'm going to purchase real estate in Southeast Asia, which is the only region in the entire world, which is going to be a growth region for the next 25 years. So I'm going to cash in on Southeast Asia's growth. I'm going to buy lots of real estate there. But notice I haven't done that yet. I haven't done it now because I'm too busy. Now, if real estate was a real investment, truly passive, I'd own tons of real estate right now. I just write a check and get my real estate and get my money. But that's not how real estate works. So I want you to hear me. I'm not saying real estate is bad. Real estate's fucking awesome, and you should own real estate, rental real estate. Ideally, you should own apartment buildings. That is the least bad form of real estate you could own, at least the modern era, as the Western world continues to collapse and we move away from home ownership because no one can afford a home because you've destroyed your currencies by voting for the lesser of two evils for 35 years straight. So apartment buildings are kind of where it's at. You also don't want commercial buildings because we live in a post-pervasive sickness world, and that's not on trend. So yes, real estate is awesome, but it's not an investment. It's going to take you a decent amount of time, which makes it a hybrid investment / business. If you want more information on investing in foreign real estate, you can watch this video right here, and I will see you in the next video. Have fun. Bye.